Hello, everyone. Today, we're going to dig into a fascinating and significant medical study with implications that may surprise many of us. A study has revealed that synthetic oxytocin, otherwise known as Pitocin, which is commonly administered during childbirth, by the way, to kind of speed labor along, is linked to increased rates of postpartum anxiety and postpartum depression, contrary to popular belief, which was that perhaps this actually could help protect mothers' mental health after the baby comes. What they found is that in many instances, postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety increased by over 30% in mothers that were administered this drug. Why is this not all over the headlines? I can imagine the Sun might say, shocking study, childbirth drug skyrockets depression risk. Or the New York Times, taking a more measured approach, might say, synthetic oxytocin linked to increased postpartum mental health risks. Or Fox News saying, study raises alarm on childbirth drugs and depression rates. This should be something we all are aware of and are talking about. But let's go a little bit further below the surface. What does this mean in the broader context of drug side effects? Typically, for non-critical treatments, we accept a rate below 10% for minor side effects, a little nausea, maybe a headache. For serious side effects, which depression is considered a serious side effect, it's much lower, often under 5% that would be considered acceptable. For serious conditions and life-saving drugs, obviously their threshold is different. So I think this raises an important question. How do we balance the benefits and risks of treatment? Pitocin, as I said, is used to stimulate contractions for mothers who are experiencing weak contractions or prolonged labor. Again, it's really meant to speed things along. But at what cost? To dig in a bit more, for women with absolutely no history of depressive or anxiety disorders that were exposed to synthetic oxytocin have an increased incidence of postpartum anxiety and depression of 32% compared to those not exposed. And of course, this increases if these women had previously experienced anxiety and depression. That number goes up to 36%. This study not only challenges our assumptions, but also emphasizes the need for rigorous evaluation of medical treatments, specifically those that are intended for women. A lot of times, women's health and treatment of medication on women has been pushed aside because we're a little more complicated due to all of our hormones. And so lots of things are tested just on men. Obviously, this would not make sense in this case, right? And I'm sorry to say that this study is actually already 6 years old, so it's not new news. However, on average, it takes 17 years for research of this type to make it into the general environment and making it into medical practice. So it's really important that you stay informed, you stay curious, and you advocate for yourself.